Bhaile am siúis áltacha agus an chléir seo Shiaght Laa. Sé Robert a Carslach mish. I'm Bob Carswell, and I'd like to welcome you to this edition of Shiaght Laa. In Shiaght Laa this week, sa chormach seo je Shiaght Laa. An Cooish Fiona McArdle feed chiad as care as feed, the Cooish Manx Language Festival 2024. And Cooish got underway yesterday morning, Wednesday the 6th of November, and we'll hear about some events taking place this very evening, Thursday the 7th. We'll also look ahead to the packed programme of events as the Cooish runs through until Sunday the 10th of November. This coming Saturday, the 9th of November, you can go along to the Manx Potters Christmas Fair in the Villa Marina Arcade from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. This will be the 6th annual Manx Pottery Fair, and it's an opportunity to meet about 20 of the island's potters, who'll be showing off a wide range of what they produce, both functional and decorative, from tableware to sculptures, large and small, with an opportunity to simply enjoy the craftsmanship and design of the work, or even to buy a bespoke dinner service handmade by a ceramicist here in the island, perhaps buy a beautiful individual piece of unique small decorative art, or in fact anything and everything in between. This year too at the Pottery Fair you'll be able to enjoy coffee and cakes, which will help raise funds for the charity Breast Cancer Now. So that's this Saturday the 9th of November from 11 to 3 in the Villa Marina Arcade, the 6th annual Manx Potters Fair. To cunionem, hyfyd blintyn den yn ish, fast de ginnel rem mi ciaw ons ciel treffer mi ciawn fénish yn nelia pan cheltiach, as hai potten de lai schies gus tai muck ros liorish yn lach. Ons shen ons na gerichen we ciol as downsen guller kummel, aliam de rau podden chelvish ons shen de recordus, as mo shove image tai muck ros heen as na gerichen as a lach, mo coolra elen on de shen. Grauw mission shen de kleine de gaunsen, noch verkeerd au gol as de jou faster ons shen, as mo so ren me. As we deugen je albanach as jernach mo vad, as we dun sun on steed, grauwed goilaar nach verkeerd au gol nies. As me so verschingen kjaun in dre, shul me giert as corre ber lordse gilgrichelia. Gederauschen beggen molig en toyacht, liedeloor henkelien kummel ke lordes meideloor, lukten chitte we all ach rishne kachlei en blaaswoon. For the Cooish Manx Language Festival over the years, in addition to speakers and singers in the Manx language, there have also often been invitations extended to speakers and singers of the sister Gaelic languages, Irish and Scottish. Although the way the languages are written seems very different from each other, the spoken word very often demonstrates the similarities, but it's also interesting to find where things diverge. The normal word for the moon in Manx is east, for example, but that now exists only as a venerable archaism in Irish and Scottish Gaelic. For the Cooish this year, there's an opportunity to find out about the links between an Ghaeilg and a Gaidhlig, the Gaelic languages of the Isle of Man and of Scotland. As you'll hear as we join Culture Vannin's Manx Language Development Officer and Greinneyder, Ruth Keggin Gell, to hear more about the Cooish, and we'll also be joined by Culture Vannin's Manx Music Development Officer, Chloe Woolley. Ruth starts with a reminder of events you can go along to this evening, Thursday the 7th of November.
On Thursday evening at 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock, there'll be a games night, and that's easy, fun games in Manx, and again, suitable for all levels, whether people have done any Manx or not. I'm going to make it very accessible, and that's £2 per person, and that'll include some tea and biscuits, and that is in Port Erin Methodist Hall on Station Road. And then the very last thing on that Thursday is some lovely Manx conversation, and Bridget Kermode will be hosting that at the White House pub in Peel from 8 o'clock onwards.
So that's a reminder of what's happening this evening, Thursday the 7th of November. And let's move on now then to Friday the 8th of November. Mannin Music will be giving one of their mini musician sessions.
So at 10 o'clock until 10:45 in Pulrose at their Mannan Music studio. And you can find all the details for where that is online at mananmusic.com. They'll be running a 45-minute workshop, and this is fun for children aged, well, basically from birth until 4 years old, but you just need to bring a parent or carer. And it's £2 per child. You don't have to pay for the adult, so it's just for the child. And booking is definitely essential because these tend to get booked up very quickly. You go to mananmusic.shop. And the lovely thing about Mini Musicians by Mannan Music is that they always incorporate Manx as a matter of just standard practice into all of their sessions. They'll always open with Moramai or Fastamai, Kiss Tau, the song, and then they'll always sing Treadagol the Valia at the end. But this one is very much all Manx language based, but they're very simple things to pick up. So again, even if people have never sung or spoken Manx before, they'll find that they know a lot by the end. At 10 a.m. till 11 a.m. up in Ramsey, a very different crowd, and this is Manx Conversation. So that'll take place at the Mad Hatter's Cafe, which is on Parliament Street, and that's hosted by Tantaran Ramsey Manx. And at 12 o'clock, from 1 o'clock, is another chance to have a bit of a cooish and a bit of conversation, and you can grab a bite to eat for a cosy lunchtime cooish, join a friendly group of Manx speakers for a chat, and that's at the Kitchen Table, which is the cafe or restaurant at Rowney Golf Club in Port Erin.
As Ruth mentioned, and Cooish is very much a collaborative effort, and Chloe Woolley, you're a committee member of Chroniach, and of course you're also the Manx Music Development Officer for Culture Vannin. So what are the events that you've been involved in organising for Cooish on behalf of Chroniach and of Culture Vannin?
Chroniach are putting on a concert in the Centenary Centre on Friday the 8th of November with Joy Dunlop, Scottish Gaelic singer, accompanied by Ron Jappy on guitar. So that's very exciting. Joy's well known on BBC as a presenter. She's also a medalist as a Gaelic singer, and she's done a lot of choral conducting. So that's on Friday the 8th, and we're going to have support with local choir Uncarea, who sing exclusively in Manx Gaelic.
Shame or a brow torn ewan, curly at a thurlin, aster and black, whom just a ye stack ewan, whom just a ye stack ewan. Shame or a brow torn ewan, curly at a thurlin, aster and black, whom just a ye stack ewan.
And it's at 7:30, and tickets are available on incrinnic.com or celticgathering.im for £12.50, or under 16s can get in for just £5. As well as that, Joy's going to be doing some workshops during the festival, and she will also be working with Uncare to do some collaborative work, which will be premiered at this concert. On Saturday, the just on, Joy will be leading some traditional song workshops for choral, for choirs and for soloists as well. And Ruth Keggin will be doing Manx Gaelic workshops the same. So these are Cooish Manx's workshops, and you can find out information on all of these on manxmusic.com. We've also got Ron Jappy doing some instrumental workshops for us. So he'll be working with Cooish Manx's youth groups Scran and Bree, but we'll also have some free workshops over the weekend for adult musicians. So on the Saturday, we are planning Scottish Tunes workshop. Ron also plays the fiddle. So he'll be teaching some tunes by ear. So if any adult instrumentalists would like to have a go, they can get in touch with me via manxmusic.com. And Ron is also going to share his skills as an accompanist on guitar. So if any budding guitarists would like to come along, learn some of the tricks of the trade, we'll also have a free workshop for those people as well.
Saturday will be a really packed day full of workshops, so on the 9th of November. So Joy and I are running sort of tag team workshops on that day, and those will be in Peel Methodist Church, either in the actual chapel itself or the church, or the Guild Room, which is part of Peel Methodist Church, of course, on Athol Street, Peel. So these workshops are aimed at adults, but if you're age 11 or over, you're very welcome with an accompanying adult, and these are Cooish Manx workshops, but you don't have to book, you can just turn up, and that's absolutely fine. So at 10:30 in the morning until 11:30, Joy will be doing a Come and Try Scottish Gaelic workshop, so you can learn some useful phrases, it'll be fun, it'll be interactive. Joy is one of the presenters for Speak Gaelic, and she's very dynamic, she's very fun, she's a very good communicator. That'll be in the Guild Room. At the exact same time, I'll be doing a Manx Gaelic traditional song workshop, and that'll be in the church section. Both of those workshops are suitable for absolute beginners. Then we swap over, and Joy will do a Scottish Gaelic traditional song workshop at 11:45 until 12:45 in the afternoon, and that'll be in the church part, so all the singing's in the church, and I'll be doing Come and Try Manx in the Guild Room at 11:45 a.m. for an hour. Then we join forces after we have a little quick snack for some lunch. And at 1:30 until 3:00, we're doing a Manx and Scottish Gaelic choral workshop. So between both of us, and we've done a lot of choral singing between the two of us, and Joy is a wonderful choral director, we're going to do some easy part songs for people. They don't have to sung or spoken in Manx or Scottish Gaelic before. They're very open. I've translated something to do as well with people as a round, and I thought that would be nice to do that as a first little premiere of that. But at the same time, as all those workshops going on, from 10:30 till 3, we've got some other workshops which will be going on, which are not technically part of the Cooish programme as in such that they don't include Manx or Scottish Gaelic language, but they're instrumental workshops. And those will be run by Ron Jappy, who is Joy's partner in crime and music. And he's doing some instrumental workshops, so a guitar accompanying for traditional music and some lovely Scottish traditional tune workshops for adults. So do check out manxmusic.com for details of those. Now, if all of that singing and speaking in Manx or Scottish Gaelic has made you thirsty or hungry, as lots of brain work might, you can pop over from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at Cafe Munjavega. It's in the Athol Room, Peel Centenary Centre. And there'll be Manx chat, there'll be lovely drinks and delicious cakes and light lunches. Of course, Munjavega are very well known for their delicious food. And they'll also be having little activities for little ones too. And there'll be some family singing as well, around about midday as well. So Annie Kissick's going to be leading that. And do keep an eye out, because online there'll be more information at learnmanx.com/Cooish. And you can find out when different things will be happening at Cafe Munjavega, because there will also be some awards that will be awarded. Things like the Labyrinth Award, which is shining a light on the Manx language for people who are really making a concerted effort for that. The Sophia Morrison Award, which is for the highest TCG result, which is a newish award that's being awarded, and also the Under Brian Stoll, which is a Pobble Award, so that's very exciting. That all takes place in Athol Room at the Peel Centenary Centre. So the Athol Room, go in there and you'll hear all the hubbub and go and get a nice cup of tea or a piece of cake. And actually, that's not it for Saturday. Go over the page and there's more. So, I mean, yeah, designing this programme was a tricky one. So in the afternoon, as again, more stuff in the afternoon, you've got Snow as Skeet. And this is a sea swimming extravaganza in Ramsey. It might be a little bit chilly, might be a little bit fooer at the time, at 2 p.m. So if you meet at the RNLI Slipway in Ramsey, you can go and meet a friendly group of people and learn some simple sea-themed Manx phrases and words. And afterwards, warm up with a cosy cuppa of nice coffee at Studio Umami in Ramsey. And this is hosted by Chrissy Callahan, Dot Saunders and Paul Salmon. So go and join them and learn some nice sea-themed words. And after that, if you're staying up in Ramsey, you could go to Fasta Fanoddery. And that's at 4 until 6 p.m. It's a cocktail making workshop and a mini distillery tour through Manx. Of course, it's only 18 plus only in terms of age. And it's £28 per place. But you must make sure you book soon, because it will be limited places available. It's a very popular event based on last year. It's a repeat by, much popular demand. And this tickets will be at manxstuff.com. That's manxstuff.com. And Joe Callister and Adam Horn are hosting that in collaboration with Fanoddery. Now, there are some evening events which are not part of the Cooish programme, but I feel like I need to say, and we put in the programme, that if anyone's heading to Peel for a concert that night, don't worry, you can still go to Fasta Fanoddery, because the event ties in with the service buses to Peel in time for the evening concerts that start that evening in Peel. Now, if you're not going to any concerts and you would like to do something, or perhaps you live away and you're not able to be on the island for the Cooish, we've got some lovely online interactive games. So at 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock, there'll be a little mini talk, which is a Monsters of Manx folklore themed talk. And then following that, there'll be a little Kahoot online quiz. So you'll need a phone for that, a smartphone to join in with that, or you can do it on your computer. And then some word games, which are things like Taboo and Balderdash. Now, this will all be through Manx, but the game's host, Paul Rogers, will help and guide to make sure everyone's on the same page. So again, you can register online for that. To get the link, learnmanx.com/Cooish. If in doubt, go to that website. And the last thing on that Saturday is a nice late night session. So a nice cure. So there'll be some Manx chat and tunes at the White House pub in Peel from 10. So bring your instrument and or your voice and join in. And then we've got one last day of the Cooish. Sunday, the 10th of November. That's 3 things going on. So we've got a big breakfast on the mountain. We've got 10:30 till 12 o'clock. We go up to Victory Cafe, which is on the mountain road. It's at the bungalow. But if you come along to Victory Cafe, and you'll find other Manx speakers, and you can join us for a hearty breakfast and have a chat in Manx. So bring a bit of money for some breakfast. And there's some Manx language films that'll be running in the cinema throughout the Cooish. So they've got a lovely cinema in there. Normally shows lots of motorbike themed films, but for the week of the Cooish they'll be showing nice Manx language films. That's 10:30 till 12. Do let us know by the 8th of November if you want to come, again, because you've got to reserve a spot. So gilg at culturevannin.im for that, please. And then 2:30 until 4, we've got terrific tiny talks, which are in Manx. Now, these are really small, miniature illustrated talks in Manx, and there's going to be a few speakers, and they're going to be very short. So there'll be less than 7 minutes each. And you'll see how it works when you go. So if anyone's heard of Pecha Kucha, you'll know what it is. If not, go and have a look. So there'll be also a chance for having a nice cup of tea and some biscuits. And this is hosted by Shiaght Laa, and that'll be at the Guild Room in Athol Street in Peel. So that's part of Peel Methodist Church. And then lastly, but definitely not least, at 6:30 p.m, there'll be a bilingual church service, and this will be a lovely, calm and reflective Manx and English bilingual service on a theme of peace. And this is hosted by Reverend Janet Corlett, and there'll be lovely music, readings and tea after the service. So come along to Ballabeg Methodist Chapel for that. And that will be concluding the Cooish. But if people would like to do any little fringe events, they can absolutely do that. It could be tiny. Their fringe event could be meeting up with a pal or two and having a little Cooish themselves. We would encourage everyone to use whatever Manx they can that week, and of course throughout the year. So we've got a little list actually in the programme. Join in and make a difference. Can you do all of these for this year's Cooish? And there's a little list of some ideas, things like tell a friend why you love Manx, or shout about Manx language successes, because actually spreading the word is also really important, and you can be a really great advocate for Manx.
Well, it really is a packed programme for the event this year. It's very impressive.
Gurimayad. I'll say Gurimayad on behalf of all of the organisations and individuals who've made it happen. But yeah, so 26 events in all, really, not including Ron's workshops as well, which will constitute another few. I should also mention that we've got some outreach work taking place as well. So the Skimmy Gaelgach are doing a postcards project, which is an inter-schools primary school project where they send each other postcards in Manx. Now, they're anonymised, of course, so they just say, usually, Charaveen, dear friend, and then Vush the Chara, from your friend, and then they get sent. And they write to each other in Manx on these lovely Manx language postcards. So they were doing that. And other things that are going on is that Joy and Ron will be doing some school performances. Joy will also be working with Manx Gaelic Community Choir Uncharere as well while she's over. So lots of things going on behind the scene.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ruth Keggin Gell and Greinneyder, Culture Vannin's Manx Language Development Officer, telling us about the Cooish, which continues this evening and runs through to Sunday the 10th of November. We also heard there from Culture Vannin's Manx Music Development Officer, Chloe Woolley. In talking about an Cooish, Ruth mentioned that the event in Ramsey at Taishili Finardry, the Finardry Distillery, had been timed to finish so that people will be able to use the bus service to get to Peel for a concert on Saturday evening the 9th of November. As she said, that concert is not part of the Cooish at all, but in fact, nevertheless, it's something that celebrates linguistic diversity, because it's a concert with the Québécois group Le Vent du Nord. That'll be taking place at the Peel Centenary Centre at 8 o'clock on Saturday, and we'll hear part of one of their French-Canadian songs now.
Si vous voulez que je chante, versez-moi un verre de vin.
Si vous voulez que je chante, versez-moi un verre de vin.
Qu'il soit doux, qu'il m'enchante, pourvu que l'amour nous rassemble.
Ah ah ah, ne me donnez pas.
Si vous voulez que je chante,
Ah ah ah, ne me donnez pas.
jamais de l'eau entre les repas.
Le Vent du Nord, in concert at the Peel Centenary Centre on Saturday the 9th of November at 8 o'clock. At the House of Manannan in Peel on Thursday the 14th, Friday the 15th and Saturday the 16th, Labyrinth History and Action Theatre Group will be presenting All at Sea, inspired by the exhibition at the House of Manannan. And that'll be an immersive theatrical experience offering a promenade-style performance, guiding the audience through the House of Manannan, where historical figures bring their true stories to life, of life and loss around the Manx coast. It's active and fast-moving, and it involves walking up and down staircases in low light. It isn't suitable for children under 10. Tickets for the various performances are £18, and there'll be performances on Thursday, Friday and Saturday evening at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock and at 8:30. You can book at manxnationalheritage.im, Manx National Heritage, all one word, manxnationalheritage.im, and look at What's On, where you'll find the Labyrinth, History in Action, All at Sea, Promenade performance, and you'll be able to buy tickets there. So that's looking ahead. I'll check to see if there are any tickets remaining for the Friday and Saturday perhaps, and we can remind you of that in Shiaght Laa next time. Let's just hear a little more of Joy Dunlop, who'll be singing for that Cooish concert on Friday the 8th of November.
Hamwa talin du haram hein hiri hadan ho haji vian het maranina khachich movel hiri dik hoda ho hi hadan ho man ok en de gaste ut var kachnen steht hiri hadan ho man tach geshan ri betalet meren rohet
The Shen Cornellian gus Jerra and Clairnish. So that's it now from Shiaght Laa this week. So from me, Bob Carswell, Masob on Peen, Robert de Carslach, Sled New.